and welcome to ThePapare.com, where we're looking at segment 1B in this review of week 3 of the Singer Schools rugby season. And that started out with a few one-sided games. We had Science playing Dharmaraja College, and it was 54 points to 7 in favour of Science after they led 35-0 at half-time. Point scorers for Science, Hashan Madhumadava with 3 tries, Udesh Madhusanka with 3 tries, Tarindu Madhuranga with 1 try, his brother Tanuja Madhuranga with 5 conversions, Vividha Sahan with 2 conversions, and Fernando with 1 try as well. And for Dharmaraja, it was Gimhan Deshapriya who had 1 try and 1 conversion. How did you think Science went on the evening, Sabir?
Too good, Shank. They were too good. Dharmaraja should feel really sorry for themselves because after coming for a win against Kingswood in week 2, and this is not the performance that they really want to showcase because Science, they gave a hard time. They were scoring. The scrum of Madhuvadu was outstanding, scored a hat-trick, and also the lock forward Shanakudesh Madhusanka scored a hat-trick. Those two are real contenders for the team of the week. But it's a all it's a team performance, Shanaka. Everyone plugged in, everyone gave their maximum into that game.
And for Science also, Sabir, looking at Tarindu Madhuranga moving from fly half, which he played at St. Peter's, back to the centres, just a bit more fluency in that positional play.
Exactly. So he's relieved pressure because he's not controlling the game anymore. So every time he gets the ball, he's feeding to his brother in the far corner, or he's going to gain more yards. That's what we discussed in the previous one. So that's benefited Science College.
Yeah, if they can get that fly half berth properly filled up, that's going to help Science a lot. Moving on to the next game, we have Isipathana, who ran up 53 points against the 5 points from Kingswood, 36 points to nil at half-time. Ranindu Padmasanka with 2 tries, Devin Gunaratna, Kushani Dunil, Sasmita Fernando, Sudhira Gayanath, Shahrukh Manabarana, Adisha Veeratunga, and Manilka Ruberu scoring the tries for Isipathana, with Tarindu Veligampola putting over 1 try for Kingswood College. So that was the story on the end of that at the end of that game, Sabir. But once again, Isipathana just running it in from everywhere. Lots of try scorers on the sheet. So 8 different try scorers for 9 tries. Looks really good.
There's not much difference between Isipathana and Science. Looking at the scorecards and looking at the way they play, even the last season they played similar fashion. Still they are continuing. So it's good to see from both the teams, Shanaka. But Isipathana still kicking is the issue for them, and also some line-out throw is the issue.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a problem when they come up against teams with big sets of forwards. They come up against Royals and Thomases, Trinity, even Wesley. This is going to be a little bit of a problematic area for both these teams, Science and Isipathana. But the way they play loose ball rugby, Sabi, the way they run, the angles that they choose, and the support play they have, especially Isipathana from the teams I've seen so far, has looked really good. And then we had a close game, much closer game than expected for the Peterites, I think, versus St. Anthony's for the Rector's Trophy, and it finished 21 points to 11 in favour of the Peterites after St. Anthony's led by 11 points to 7 at half-time. Rahal Delpachitra with 1 try, Avishka Heenpalla with 1 try, and Stefan Sivaraj with 1 try for St. Peter's. Sandesh Jayavikrama converted 1 and Sivaraj the other one, whereas Dinuk Amarasinghe scored 1 try for St. Anthony's. Samuel Madhavanta put over 2 penalties. So it was a little bit of a trying game because the conditions were really terrible before kickoff, weren't they?
Yes, indeed. It was raining before the game, and but still, I like the way Avishka Heenpal, the scrum half, controlled the game. But Shanaka, at the end, the game didn't end in a good way of sportsmanship. There's a brawl between the players and the spectators. So it's not nice something to see. This is the first time we saw in this school season.
Yeah, and I hope it's the last time as well, because we don't really want to see these things, especially not for a trophy that's awarded for 2 rectors or for both these very proud Catholic schools. You know, you don't want this sort of thing to be the message that they send down to the junior players and to the schoolboys as well. So I would hope that both schools attack this particular issue, find out what went wrong, have their own internal inquiries, and punish whoever needs to be punished.
Indeed, and also St. Anthony's must be absolutely gutted. They were leading 11 points to 7 in the first half, and it's that error in defense and discipline cost the game, because they gave more place, more open space to run for the St. Peter's backs.
Yeah, that when the St. Peter's backs get going, they can be a little dangerous. But unfortunately for St. Anthony's, they look like they're going to be an almost team this year, because they're going to trouble teams. They're going to get to about the right place with about 60 minutes left, 60 minutes gone, and the last 20 is where they're going to really cough up those things. So I think Viper Gunaratna is probably having to build this side up for next year rather than count on this particular year.
One thing I noticed, Shanaka, in this season, there's not a single kicker who's consistent and who can make a 40-meter kick. But this guy, Samuel Madwanta, he's one icon for that 40-meter range. He made 2 penalties, but still he needs to work because the coach Nalaka Virakari obviously. And also, main task would be for St. Anthony Shanaka to remain to beat at least make 2 wins out of the rest of the 4 games.
Yeah, I think they should manage to do that as well. They have matches against Dhanmaraja and Kingswood to come, so those that candy trio will have to figure out who's going to stay up and who's going to go down. So the three of those teams are going to fight it out for the bottom of the segment 1B.
Yes, looking at the points table for the segment 1B,
we have Isipathana, who are the overall leaders in the points table. 16.5 points they have out of their 3 wins, out of 3 games. Science also, they have won 3 out of 3. They have 16 points. St. Peter's have 12 points with 1 loss against Science College at last gasp from last week. And then we have Dhanmaraja, who managed to get out a win against Kingswood last week. They've got 7.5 points. Kingswood have 3.5. And St. Anthony's at the bottom of the table so far, but probably, ironically, a better side than Dhanmaraja and Kingswood, even though they find themselves at the bottom.
yes, that will be interesting clash. I can't wait to see that game, Shanaka. And also, next week we have a holiday, Shanaka. Coming following week on the 22nd, Isipathana versus St. Peter's. That's going to be a very good game.
Yeah, that's going to be an outstanding game. It's going to be at Bumblebee as well in the St. Peter's backyard. It's always a difficult place to play for an opposition team, but St. Peter's, it'll be there for...
Correction, Shanaka. That'll be. I think Isipathana is going to host that game, and they will be playing at Havelock Park.
Oh, okay, so that changes the equation a little bit. That definitely changes the equation, which means that St. Peter's forwards will have to play really well in order to win this game. I think the only way that St. Peter's, from what they have, is that they're going to have to prevent these Isipathana backs from getting the ball. So Avishka Heenpalla will have to make sure the guys in front of him really play an outstanding game.
And also, I'm assuming probably Sandesh Jaya Vikrama, the captain, might shifting his places as well from his usual fullback position.
Well, you never know, because Sivaraj is a guy who looks like he's set in that fly half position. I think he has a few flaws as well. He's still playing his first full year in the first 15 jersey. So I think in a big game like this, you might want Sandesh coming in. But again, Sandesh hasn't played at fly half for quite a few of these games, Sabir. It's not a position that you can just come in unless he's been training in. So quite a few things to look forward to in that game. And Kingswood versus Science, I think Science should be able to pull that one off easily. And the match of the week will probably be Dhanmaraja versus St. Anthony's. That's going to be a really close one.
That is indeed. So do follow us all the live action on www.ThePapare.com. So that's all we have for the Single Schools Rugby Week 3 edition. And until next week, myself and Shanaka signing off for ThePapare.com, saying New Year's greetings. Subha Alutha.